What's going on, everybody? This is John J Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with a brand new episode of the Memphis Dynasty here on NCAA 12, one of the underrated NCAA games in the Xbox 360/PS3 generation. We're off to a hot start here in season number 6 as we are not only undefeated still, but the national media is giving us a little bit of love. We are ranked number 20 in the entire country, but we will continue Big East Conference play as we will take on the UConn Huskies. Now, UConn has had a somewhat difficult season, just 2-3 to their name, but on paper, they at least have a little bit better of a roster. They're a B overall squad with a B offense and a B- defense, whereas we're C pluses across the board. However, when you look at our statistical numbers, we're among the best in the entire nation, and that's even with 3 of our starters still out from injuries, one of which is done for the rest of the season. So we're looking to keep that going, man. I'm looking to remain undefeated so that not only can we go for that coveted conference championship in the Big East, but what I also want to do as well, I want to get to our first BCS/New Year's Six Bowl. I want to make that happen for our program, but we got to win this game. We got to win them all. So it's going to be a fun one here in this episode that I hope you guys are excited for. If you are, make sure you go ahead, smack that like button for me. Hit that subscribe button as well. If you do have to be brand new to the channel, we'll go ahead and hop right in onto the football field. I'll see you guys there. Alright, boys, so here comes your number 20th ranked Memphis Tigers, getting ready to go ahead and take the field, as Joseph Thompson is going to try to get a big play to get things started. This might be a bigger one, but we don't attack properly. We only get a 7-yard gain out of it. Still not too terribly bad, but we are going to run it again with Chase Mitchell in order to try to pick up that first down. And look at the moves by Chase Mitchell as he's now in the open field. Does get caught from behind, though. First and goal coming up for your Memphis Tigers, as we now rocking and rolling with this first and goal after the massive run by Chase Mitchell, as Joseph Thompson looking to drop back the pass, throws over the middle of the field, and it's going to be caught. Touchdown, Memphis. And the scoring gets started here today with Luke McConnell going to find the end zone for us. Wins on that in-breaking pattern. And Joseph Thompson, well, he hits him right in rhythm. So UConn will try to answer back after we got an opening salvo to get this game started. And if you're going to answer back, we are going to go ahead as we got a 1st and 10 coming up, as UConn looking to go to work. As 1st and 10, Jones is going to be moved into the motion. Could be a run for Begg. No, it's play action. We have been bamboozled, and we get hit with a massive gain on the defensive end. Absolutely fooled. We were hoping that it's going to be the run, as we are one of the better run defenses here in college football. But instead, a massive gain for the Huskies, as they'll try to run the ball up the gut. This time it is actually a run. And they do pick up a good gain, a gain of 8 yards. We'll see if they go back to that ground game again, though. 3rd and short, they do. Halfback draw, and our defensive line will stand tall. They don't get a single yard, but they are feeling spicy here early on in this ball game, as they're going for it here on 4th down. Looking for another. No, it's a play action. Throwing it up, and it's going to be dropped. Broken up at the last moment. They will be turning the football over on downs. So we'll try to build off of the momentum that we've got from our defense, given that we did force a 4th down stop. And with that run from Chase Mitchell to start the drive, we already are across midfield. We'll see if we can turn that into more points as Thompson looks over the left-hand side, finds Trayvon Randolph. He'll be able to cut off field to pick up a 1st down inside the 35-yard line. As it looks like UConn likes to be aggressive, but they are actually going to read our screen really well. Thankfully, number 90's hands got hands of butter, as that could have very easily been intercepted. So we are very fortunate still at the football right now. 3rd and 13 coming up, though, as Thompson looks over to the left-hand side. Had the corner route open, but just did not have enough time to get rid of that football, unfortunately. So that does mean that Tommy Wyatt does have to come out for a field goal. This is a 55-yard attempt, but thankfully, Tommy Wyatt, he has really turned himself into one of the very best kickers in the entire country. One of the best players that we've brought into this program ever, outside of the transfer portal, of course. And we will have a 10-0 lead that we will be taking in through the end of the 1st quarter of action. Looking pretty good here in our 2nd Big East Conference game of the season, as we will be up 10-0 after 1 quarter of play. So now here we are in that 2nd quarter of action, as we'll try to build off the success of the previous quarter. We got a 1st and 10 again across midfield already. Gonna throw over to the left-hand side as Luke McConnell is gonna be able to make a contested catch for us there. He'll be able to not pick up the sticks necessarily, but makes this a very manageable 3rd down, which we will be relying on Chase Mitchell to go ahead and pick up for us here, as Chase Mitchell runs it right down middle of the street, and Chase Mitchell with a 1st down. He's been off to a great start today, almost 80 yards on the ground already, trying to build off of that, but we are going backwards, as not only do we end up getting sacked, but there's a fumble. So a 9-yard loss on that really sets us behind in terms of, trying to remain on schedule. And while we do pick up a decent amount of yards on the next play with that wide receiver screen, 3rd and 9 is not ideal. It's actually pretty far from ideal, actually, as we'll try to pick up the 1st with our tight end, Jacoby Johnson. But he does not reach out for the ball. That could have been completed. Jacoby Johnson just did not want to reach for it. It's right up and down. At least not in my opinion, as that will now bring the field goal team out. We'll get another field goal on the board, help extend our lead some. So now 5 minutes left here in the 2nd quarter, as it does seem like Memphis got that 13-0 lead. We are in control, though, seems like, as we're going to try to get this quarterback on a 1st and 10. We almost do, actually. Matt Scales did end up deflecting the ball at the line of scrimmage. So now, 2nd and 10 coming up, following the deflection. They get it off to the halfback. It's going to break a couple of tackles, though, down the sideline. Daniel finally is going to come in and get the ball carrier out of bounds. But, man, that should have been a very minimal game at the very least. And that just simply didn't happen. That did not happen there at all. UConn get a fresh set of downs instead as they try to run it up the gut. They get a decent amount of yardage here before Leonidas Mitchell finally comes in, gets a solid tackle from behind, but it makes it a much more manageable 3rd down, where UConn trying to throw for the 1st down marker, and they get it. They get the 1st down marker yet again, but we do get them to another 3rd down, so maybe this time around we can get them off the field on this 3rd and long, as they will throw yet again. That's where they had most of their success today. Now we'll get them off the field, or at least so I thought. They're going to go for it here on 4th down, yet again, looking for that 1st down to extend the drive, and they get it. A quick throw over the middle of the field extends the drive for UConn, as they're still looking for their very first points of the game, but we are going to make it as difficult as possible, as Joseph Minor really gets that nice pile drive tackle there, making it 3rd and 15. UConn dropping back, and we're going to get him out of field goal range. Let's go, baby. Chris Gentry with a critical sack, but they're still going to attempt this field goal. This is a 60-yard attempt, and of course, it's going to be well short of the field goal. Didn't have somebody back there to return because we're already guaranteed good field position. And listen, Sun Tzu always said, you know, if your opponent is making a mistake, don't stop him from doing that. So, great field position to possibly get more points on the board before we go into halftime. As Thompson drops back, he's going to look over in the middle of the field. Eventually finds Trayvon Randolph for the first down. But we'll not waste very much time. We'll get up to the line of scrimmage quickly. Want to take some momentum into the halftime locker room. Looking over the middle for Jody Gentry, though. He couldn't haul that one in. He won initially, but the linebackers did cover that pretty well there. So now it's 3rd and 6 here as we try to move the sticks on this drive. As Thompson looks around, got some time to work with, finds Jody Gentry, who makes up with the drop that happened on the previous play. And now we'll rush to the line of scrimmage, trying to pick up some quick yards as we look for another touchdown to end the first half of action. 56 seconds left. Thompson with the play action. Gone run out of time and has to throw it away. Will be considered an incomplete pass, so we don't have to use any of our timeouts. Still got 2 of those left to work with as we look around. Right-hand side, Jody Gentry with the catch, but didn't really lead him. That would have been a first down if we let him just a little bit better there. But instead, it's going to be a 3rd and short, and we will keep the ball in the air unless the pressure dictates otherwise. We'll also make some adjustments at the line of scrimmage, trying to make some isolating plays here over the middle of the field. And we got our guy in Davenport, but Davenport, oh my gosh, I really don't like this receiver. I'm really thinking about benching this guy, to be honest, because most of the time, he drops passes that we throw in his direction. It's been a frustrating experience. We are going to go for it here on 4th down. We only need 1 yard here, so we're going to go for it here. Risk it for the biscuit. Why not? And, of course, our offensive line loses when we needed it to win the most. So that's going to end the first half of action. We still got a lead. We're up 13-0 still, but not exactly how I wanted to finish this first half of action. Could have been a much bigger lead for us before we go off into the halftime locker room. However, our defense, that's been playing pretty well overall, getting the job done and built for tough. So now we jump into that second half of action here as we do at least get the ball to start the second half, even though we didn't come away with any points. So we'll go ahead and start a little option to the left-hand side, trying to pitch it out to Chase Mitchell, but it goes horribly wrong, and UConn is going to have a scoop and score. You want to think about a nightmare to start this first half? First of all, number 90 here, he breaks a double team. So he breaks our double team, then gets the fumble recovery, and also gets a touchdown off of that as well. Just terrible way to start this second half, right? So now it's just a 1-score game, and if UConn can score a touchdown, then suddenly we'll see them take the lead here at Liberty Bowl Memorial Stadium. So here's to trying to go ahead and preventing that as we'll go into a 2nd and 10 as we'll see this quarterback drop back the pass, looking over the middle of the field, and it's going to be caught. It will be caught for a first down. First down for the UConn Huskies, and they are certainly feeling themselves now. They're going to try to go ahead and get us off balance. Looking over, going to set up the speed option over to the right-hand side, and it's a decent gain. A decent gain there for the UConn running game. Not running the football very often. They've read our scouting report. They know we can stop that run really aggressively. As now, 2nd and 4 after the decent gain on the ground. Do they keep it there? They will. Halfback draw, and we actually punch him forward. We had multiple guys get to him. We did have that happen, but everyone wanted to lay the big hit. Nobody actually wanted to wrap up. So it's a first down for UConn as they still search for some more points, but we will shut the door. Dan Daniel with an interception down the sideline, and he will be brought out of bounds, but not before reaching midfield. I just burped a little bit. That's sexy, but not sexier than a Dan Daniel interception. Hope he's okay, though. But unfortunately, we don't do anything with that interception, so UConn's offense will come out onto the field yet again as they go with another halfback draw. They bamboozle us pretty good before Nazir Evans comes in and makes the tackle in that particular play. But a couple of plays later, they try to test us downfield, but look who comes up with a play. Eddie Coolbeans with the interception. Let's go, baby. These corners come into play today. They are really trying to shut things down. Kind of like a great value brand Legion of Boom. And if your younger viewers don't know what that is, definitely check out those highlights up on YouTube. And we got ourselves a highlight here, though, as Jody Gentry getting loose in the secondary. They're not Legion of Boom worthy at all. So here we go. After the explosive play, can we build off of it? Thompson looking around, looking for somebody to get open downfield. Just going to randomly launch it. Was like, screw it, Jody Gentry's down there somewhere, but it does get batted away. And now it becomes a 3rd and long. Thompson in the shotgun formation, going to try to bamboozle him with a halfback draw, but UConn will not be fooled on that halfback draw at all. So we will be bringing out our field goal unit yet again. Tommy White already 2 for 2 on field goals. Make it 3 for 3 now. So that will make it a 2-possession game once again. After the 39-yard field goal attempt is good. So here we are with a few minutes left in this 3rd quarter. Still looking for UConn to do something on offense here. It's actually the defense for UConn that has more points than their offense. But we got a little too greedy. We tried to sell out on a screen of some sorts. Did not work at all. And we give up a touchdown here. At least that's what I thought happened. But then we have a holding penalty called on UConn. They will still call it a 1st down. But we will, of course, accept that penalty. That's big. That takes 7 points off the board for UConn. They could have just made this a 2-possession game, but here we are, barbecue on the titties. We still have a chance to get them off the field yet again. 3rd and 8 coming up as Barry lines up on the left-hand side, but moves over to the right. We'll see what UConn does. He passes yet again. UConn facing some pressure from behind as Joseph Minor laying the lumber there. And UConn will be forced to punt this football away. And a chance to really put some distance between us and our Big East opponents right now. As this is a good run here by Chase Mitchell off the direct snap. Quick 8 yards there to really enforce ourselves in the trenches. As we'll go with a fake handoff over to the left-hand side. We had so many guys open. 2 guys at the very least, just off a glance. Just couldn't get to either of them because neither of them really broke their routes yet. So instead, it's going to be 3rd and 13. Not an easy one to pick up as Danforth looks over the middle. He's going to find Jacoby Johnson for the 1st down. Let's go, man. Tight end finally getting involved in this offense. It's not like we haven't tried to get the ball to him. Just, you know, other teams been covering Jacoby Johnson pretty well in his sophomore year. But he's doing better than last year just because he has not been hurt. Which is always a positive thing to see. However, 3rd and long coming up yet again. Going to need an explosive play downfield as Thompson does have some time in the pocket initially. Tries to look over the middle. Kind of an unforced error there. Could have waited for that play to develop a little bit more, but we will not come away with any points on that drive, though. And here we are late in the 3rd quarter. Even later in the 3rd quarter, UConn still looking for answers. They'll throw over the middle of the field, and that will be a decent gain for the Huskies. That goes for a gain of 7 yards there. But now, 2nd and 3 coming right up. We'll see what UConn does next. It's not a halfback draw. They're going to look over the middle of the field instead, and it's a big hit on the receiver. He still hangs on to it, though, and begrudgingly, we have to give up the 1st down. Very next play, though, Huskies going to the line quickly, trying to get us off track. Looking over deep downfield, and we give up the big play. That is Eddie Coolbeans, who had the interception earlier today. He gave up that really big play downfield. And now, red zone opportunity for UConn. Could be the first offensive points that we see from the Huskies today, as Jones goes into the motion over the right-hand side. Could be the last play of the third quarter, as there's a flag on the field. There is indeed a flag on the field. We'll check out what the penalty is. It's a holding on the offense. That will wrap us up here. Final quarter of action. We are in that defensive struggle right now, but we still hold on to a 9-point lead. Gotta finish the job, though, if we want to remain undefeated here in year number 6. So let's jump into that final quarter of action. Got those fours up in Liberty Bulls Stadium. And first play of the final quarter, we finally see UConn find the end zone with their offense. And it's not like we didn't get pressure on the quarterback, but I mean, look at this guy. We just left him wide butt naked open. And now UConn strikes well within distance of us, only down by 2 points. So what we do on offense becomes that much more important. They haven't been playing that great today, but we're looking to turn that around here as we start with a big play downfield for Jody Gentry, who breaks the tackle. He's across midfield, foot race, and gets caught by a linebacker. Oh, Jody, you're better than that, but still a massive gain, though, something that we desperately needed as we look for a touchdown to help us try to ice this game away. We'll throw short to Derek Davenport, and he actually doesn't drop that pass. He's been very notorious for dropping passes for us, but at least not that time, though, as we got a 2nd and 5 to work with now. Sucking in that defense in a little bit more, and Trayvon Randolph will pick up that first down indeed off of a wide receiver screen. So here we go, 1st and goal to try to make this at least a 9-point game again, and we got it. Derek Davenport finding the end zone, touchdown Memphis. And the Tigers get it back to a 2-possession game, especially after we hit that extra point. So 23-14 now your score with 7 minutes left to play in the game. Defense looking to get some stops. Couple more stops will guarantee us the victory. It comes a long way if we can stop them here. Looking over the right-hand side, trying to get a big play downfield, and the receiver just couldn't locate it. Trying to throw it up for one of his big-bodied guys, and I don't know if he lost it in the sun. That would be interesting because they are in the shade right now, given the sunset here at Liberty Bowl Stadium. Leads to a 3rd and 9 instead, and we're not surprised with what's about to happen next. You know that UConn, they have to go for it here on 4th down. 4th and 2 coming up. Does we have what it takes? They're going to try to run it upfield, and it's going to be stopped. The Memphis front 7 does their job, and we'll get them off the field. Now, we'll go 3 and out on our next possession, but, I mean, we were so close, we were getting another field goal. So, we can't lose off of a touchdown field goal anymore. They now have to get 2 touchdowns here in these next couple of drives if they want to somehow come back and win this game. And that's even counting us not scoring the rest of the way, which could still happen. It could certainly still happen right now. But UConn trying to make things interesting here is 1st and 10. Going to run the ball up the gut. And this is a nice run up the middle of the field. And that will be a 1st down for the UConn Huskies, as they will rush to the line quickly as time is of the essence right now. 3rd and 7. Looking. Dropping back. He's going to get hit. And he's not going to be able to get rid of the football. He gets smacked from multiple directions. And now 4th and 13. UConn must go for it. They failed the last time. Can we make it 2 times in a row? And it looks like we will. Matt Scales get to this quarterback. And now we have a chance to run out this clock and ice the game possibly, as Chase Mitchell gets it off on such a high note, nearly picking up a 1st down from the get-go. And y'all already know what time it is. We're trying to make sure that we can run the rest of this clock out, as Chase Mitchell does manage to go ahead and pick up yet another 1st down yet again. So another 1st and 10 coming up for the Memphis Tigers, as we got a 3rd and long. Thompson trying to set up a screen, but only throwing it if it's wide open. It's open here. Just need this one block, but we don't get the block that we're looking for. So UConn is out of timeouts, but we don't get rid of all of the time that's on the clock. So a little bit of a heartbeat for UConn as they try to desperately come on back. And the only time that they can stop the clock is if they can either get a 1st down or they have to also get out of bounds. So somebody keeping that in mind, but UConn is on the move. They're already at midfield already. They try to set up another screen, though. It ends up in an incompletion. And since they ran up and spiked the ball on 2nd down, this is a 3rd and long. This is something that we have kind of thrived in. But some of our backups are in the game, though, because our starters, they desperately need some rest. And our backups step up and make a play. 4th and 10. Coming right on up. Get this stop. This game is 100% over. Dropping back. 4th and 10. Fires downfield. He's got a guy. And it's a perfect throw. Nothing that we could do about it. Just a perfect throw. Because the coverage was actually pretty tight on him. But just threw it over the shoulder. And I thought that could have been some serious trouble, but we do end up at least getting the onside kick. Because we managed to get that onside kick, we're able to run the rest of the time off the clock, and we will survive. We win by a final score of 26-21. Our undefeated season, well, that is going to stay alive for now as we get to 6-0 on the year. Alright boys, so let's go ahead and take a minute to see how our players did from an individual standpoint. And Joseph Thompson actually had a pretty another solid game. 17 for 31, 266 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, but he did cough up a fumble. Overall, he did do a pretty good job though, but we were having some issues with in terms of trying to get this ground game going. Yes, I know Chase Mitchell had over 100 yards rushing, but aside from that 52-yard run that he had early in the game, well, it simply wasn't that pretty on the ground, to be honest with you guys. Now, for the receivers, there's a reason why this man was on the thumbnail. Just gotta give this man the ball at the end of the day. 5 catches, 139 yards. He was a problem today, but he did not catch a touchdown pass. However, Luke McConnell was able to find the end zone, and so did Derek Davenport, our senior redshirt, able to get the job done as well in terms of scoring points for us. Now, our offense wasn't playing at its best potential today, but the defense did enough to make sure that we ended up winning this game. Eric Davis did lead the team in tackles today. He had 6 solos in this one, with Eddie Coolbeans not too far behind, actually. He had 4 solo tackles over the course of this game, but man, we were really getting after his quarterback today. A lot of sacks in this game, most of which coming from our secondary. Joseph Minor is a corner that got a sack. Chris Gentry is a linebacker. He had a sack and a half. Matt Scales got a sack as well. And then we did see Nazir Evans also help out with a sack on top of that. Plus, we did force multiple turnovers in this game. Dan Daniel got an interception. Then we saw Eddie Coolbeans, who also led the team, well, partially led the team in tackles today. He got an interception as well. Really good performance by our defense overall. And that unbeaten streak of ours, well, it's still going on, and it's still going strong. But what this game has shown more than anything is that it's always important to win at that line of scrimmage. And these 2 guys that we just picked up through recruiting, they're going to help us do that in the future. We got 2 offensive linemen to sign on the dotted line. One of them being Ryan Haynes, who's a 3-star guard out of Sparta, Tennessee. He's a in-state recruit that chose us. And then we also pick up the 3-star from Russellville, Alabama. We pick up Alfred Wright. He's the number 29 guard in this recruiting class. So 2 very solid high school seniors that are going to be joining us on the offensive line and are going to help us win in the trenches moving forward. But on the field though, our team is going to feel that pressure just a little bit more. The new AP Top 25 just came out, and we are now ranked number 18 in the entire country. We are really starting to get up there as we're slowly but surely climbing our way up the polls. But next episode, we continue our conference action. This time, we are playing host to the University of Southern Florida, so we will be doing that in the next episode. Should be a fun one as we try to ring in the bowls. But if you enjoyed today's action, this thriller against UConn, I need you guys to go ahead and do me a favor for me. I need you to like this video so that this can get out to more college football fans like yourselves. Leave me a comment, as I love reading all your comments. And of course, if you're brand new to the channel and you love the content, make sure you go ahead, hit that subscribe button for me as well. I would truly appreciate if you did all three, if you haven't done so already. But with that being said, though, this is John Jake Gaming on the mic signing off, but hoping you guys are all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.